What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse ranch, no hate. So we had Anthony Joshua versus Robert Helenius this past weekend. Now, both men said they were ready. AJ had to make the adjustment from fighting Dillian White to Robert Helenius, which I'll go into just a little bit after I read something to you that Robert Helenius actually said. This is on Boxing Social's channel. And let me say before I read it, Robert Helenius said no excuses. He's ready. He just had a fight the weekend before. He took no punishment. He's ready. There's no excuses. I mean, I'm ready to go. I'm fit. I'm in shape. Now, these are Robert Helenius words, not Aries. This is him saying this. Now, this is what he said. Okay. He says, I hit him well with left straights, and I noticed that he was a bit embarrassed by it. Should have just let the right one go. I hurt him many times and felt like I had the match in hand at one point. Okay. He believes he would have won. Well, this is, of course, from the guy doing the report. He believes he would have won had he not been on late notice. Okay. I still feel that if I had been given 12 weeks for that match, the end result would not have been like that. It would have been the other way around. I didn't have the condition for 12 sets here. The better one won this time. That's all. Even though I had lost today, this left me with a good feeling. I will not comment on whether the career will continue. All right. See, first off, let me say this. Now, in terms of him embarrassing Anthony Joshua, I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, the point is what? Like, what is the point in even saying that? I mean, it sounds like he's bitter that he lost. He's making excuses as to why he lost. You don't stand up here and say that I'm ready. I just fought the other, last weekend. I took no real punishment. I'm good. There'd be no excuses, and they make excuses. If I had 12 weeks, I'd have been ready. My conditioning wasn't, I couldn't do 12 sets. We've seen you do the same thing against Gerald Washington and other guys where, for you to say you think it would have been different. Okay, well, here's my thing. If you lose a fight and you're a sore loser, you can't just walk away and say, you know what? The better man won. All of this, if I had, something? At least when Chris Eubanks Jr. was about to fight Conor Ben, he was saying he's coming in at 60% because he hasn't fought at that weight for so long. He won't be at full strength. He'll be dehydrated and drained. Okay. Even if someone says, oh, he's already making excuses, guess what? It doesn't make a difference. At least if you say that ahead of time, it's not about making an excuse, but why take a fight if you feel I'm not prepared for the fight? That would be stupid, right? But at least in that sense, it's like, well, hey, let's say if he would have said, I just fought last weekend, I'm going to take the fight because, hey, you don't know when an opportunity like this is going to come back around. Hey, this is what we signed up for. Things happen. I'd rather take my chance than not. At least if you say something like that. No, it's not making an excuse. You did just fight last weekend. Okay, but you said you took no real punishment. You're fine. You're fit. You're ready. That's what you just said. You understand? So now to turn around and say, if I had 12 weeks, I think the result would have been different. It's like, why even say that? Because you didn't have to take the fight. It's as simple as that. Jermell Charlo is coming, off 16 months. Okay, he hasn't been in the ring in 16 months. So he was asked by Brian Custard that same question about, do you think ring rust will come into play? I mean, guys say I'm good, then they get in the ring, and then they say, it was ring rust or whatever. He said, I don't care about that. He's like, man, I'm coming here to win. I'm not coming to lay down. People can say whatever. I don't care what these other people are saying. I'm coming to win. Okay. Same thing goes for Jermell Charlo. He can't come in here if he loses to Canelo and say, well, if I had the no. Or I thought that I'd be fit and ready, but no, stop it. Just say the better man won and leave it at that. Because at the end of the day, when this type of stuff happens, man, it's like, you just sound like a sore loser. And to add, I embarrassed AJ and all this kind of stuff. Look, bro, you made millions of dollars in this fight. Okay? You went in there, you inflicted some damage on AJ's face, he inflicted some damage on you. It's the same thing. And for all the people that's talking shit, right? Let's make something clear. Okay? And I say this all the time. You ask the majority of the people, do you feel like Roberto Duran was a great fighter? He was a warrior. Oh, no doubt. Right. He got knocked out in 2 rounds by Thomas Hearns, who got knocked out in 3 rounds by Marvin Hagler. Did you see the Marvin Hagler-Duran fight? Marvin Hagler was catching hell in there with Duran. Y'all the ones always talking about styles make fights, but then it's like, yeah, but it's different though. But see, Hearns was better than Robert. Y'all, it's always these little stupid intangibles that people come up with. Listen, I will say it again, because Aries makes no excuses for anyone. Robert Helenius is a journeyman, and like I said in a previous video, it doesn't mean the guy doesn't have some type of skill. But my thing is, first off, Anthony Joshua, if he let his hands go early, the same thing he did to knock him out, is what I'm saying. We know AJ has been very cautious. Okay. But at the end of the day, all I'm saying, I don't really care about all that other nonsense. You don't take a fight, say I'm fine, yeah, oh, I'm good, hey, I'm ready, and then all of a sudden there's excuses afterwards. We know that Anthony Joshua has not been the same Anthony Joshua. And I'm really getting so sick of repeating this and hearing the same nonsense over and over. We keep hearing it, and I keep telling people, AJ has to do what he has to do. Win, lose, or draw. Okay, bottom line, this is what he signed up for. This is what he does for a living. All right, so AJ's not the one talking about, I think I need another 2 fights before I fight Wilder. It's all these idiots making excuses talking this. It's not AJ saying it. It's the people. So for a guy like Robert Helenius, who basically decided to accept this fight, but then you turn and made, look how much money, listen, I don't know his exact purse, but when you fight AJ, you getting paid. So the excuses you make, and then he says he won't say whether the career is over or not. Bro, listen, regardless to what you do, if you just continue to fight, if you retire, whatever, you took the fight, you lost. If a person decides to catch weight, don't come with this, I feel like something was wrong with Spence. But Spence is not, he's the better man won. He's not making any excuses. Why? You agreed to everything. And this is what I mean about this, the poor sports stuff. All that stuff you saying, you still got stretched. I don't care nothing about your conditioning. You talking about you didn't have 12s in you. Bro, at the end of the day, and remember when I said, right, that he tried to come at AJ the first couple of seconds kind of aggressive. Then he just kind of slowed down and okay, let me pace myself. And I said, I don't know if that was okay, I tried this with Wilder and I ran into something. Let me cool out. I don't know. I don't care. But the reality is, if you listen to Tony Bellew and if you listen to even the commentators, if you listen to everybody talking about how the longer this guy stays in, AJ's giving him a chance to catch him. And I'm saying AJ has that same chance, okay? And that situation is like this. It's a fight. Some guys show up, they look better than others, right? Just like me saying how Wilder struggled with Molina. AJ beat him far more impressive than Wilder did. That doesn't ensure that AJ is going to beat Wilder. Vice versa. Okay? Wilder, even though when he knocked out, Dominic Brazil, this was the older, wear and tear, beaten down, washed up version of Dominic Brazil. It still doesn't matter. Maybe at his best, maybe Wilder still knocks him out. Who knows? But he accepted the fight. And he got jumped by Wilder and his team in front of his wife and kids. So if that is not enough to motivate you, bottom line is, it's no need to say if Wilder wouldn't have landed that shot, we don't know what happened, which is true, we don't. but he landed it. He got him out of there. Okay, simple. What did I say in the previous video? Wilder was losing, was getting outboxed by Gerald Washington. Big Pharmacy Miller went in there and dominated from round one to the round it ended. Arthur Spilka was outboxing, outlanding by far against Deontay Wilder. Same with, old man Ortiz. But at the end of the day, people keep trying to, but this fight, he did this to him and he did that to him. Like I always say, you don't know what's going to happen. If Anthony Joshua understands what was going on in that ring, and he look at that fight and, you know what, yeah, I should have did that earlier. I could, who knows? It's up to him and his trainer to get the act together so they can go in there and win fights. And ultimately, regardless, the instructions in the corner have to be followed out. Not just, okay, yeah, you have to go in there and do it. So what's going to happen is going to happen. But regardless, it doesn't take away from Anthony Joshua. You got knocked out. Okay, let's not blame it on your conditioning. You got knocked out. Plain and simple. Did your conditioning have anything to do with Gerald Washington? Because you was heavily gassed in that fight as well. So it's what I'm saying when people come with these excuses. It's things AJ could have did different. There's always something somebody could have did different, and I'm sitting there looking at, I told you from the very first round, I'm watching like, okay, but I understand, like I said, AJ, any fighter, they have to feel comfortable. They have to feel it. It's not what we see. We see it, but they have to see it, but feel it. And that confidence to get it done. Bottom line is you got it done. So all I'm saying is this. Any fighter that accept the terms, accept the fight, short notice, whatever it may be, don't come in and complain after you get your ass kicked. Okay? And even for you to say that you didn't have the conditioning, well then, when you went into that fight and you knew ahead of time, my condition is not there. Right? You didn't think, I don't have to accept this fight. But shit, that's money. Because I'm pretty sure that was the extra incentive. If you went in there saying, pretty much, I don't think I'm going to win, or doubting yourself, because you don't sound like you was confident, you couldn't, to have common sense and to know you're not 100%, but you're going to take a fight. As a warrior and as a man of integrity, a person that has those qualities don't sit up here afterwards and say, oh, if I had 12 weeks, I'm sure I think the results would have been different. No, you took the fight. You probably believe, just like all these people saying, AJ soft, he can be beaten easily now and all this, and you in there thinking, I'm going to clip him, or whatever it was you was thinking. No, bro. You went in there and you accepted this fight and you got knocked out. Don't matter first round, last round, bottom line, you got knocked out. And in fact, it's like when I said, I see holes in Fury's game that people act like they don't see. And even like I brought to someone's attention, if you look at when Deontay Wilder knocked Fury down, this wasn't no strategic, Wilder's a sharp, slick boxer, or he just caught Fury slipping. It's not like Wilder can't do nothing right. He's just not a good boxer. Okay, but that doesn't mean you can go in there and just stick your chin out, drop your hands, and get careless, and he can't catch you. And every time, in all the fights they had, anytime that Fury went down, anytime it was Fury being careless. Okay? So even for Fury to say Wilder can't box going forward or backwards, he's just a puncher. But he's dangerous because of that. But he'll try to clean it up afterwards because why? That's his biggest rival in boxing. So if he sit here and say, well, I fought a bum, and that's what he does. He calls everybody bums, but after, he gets in there, like, you don't hear him speak and say anything about Dillian White. Okay? He doesn't have a rivalry with Dillian White. He doesn't have a rivalry with anyone. Wilder's the only man that he's been going back and forth with. That shit with Chisora is, like I said, was a charity fight. Okay, that was a pension fight. But I'm saying overall, Wilder is his rival. And the fact of the matter is they both handpicked each other in that first fight because they both thought they had the advantage. So for one guy to call a guy pillow-fisted and get knocked out by him makes you look bad. That's embarrassing. He ain't knocking out nobody. He don't even believe that dude ain't got, who the hell Fury knocking out? Fury ain't got no damn power. Fury got them Philadelphians for fish and he knocked him out. And all it took was one shot. And I remember hearing people saying, nah, it was a combination. What combination? What fight was y'all watching? It was one punch that knocked him out. Okay? The fight was stopped in a second. So what y'all talking about? He got knocked out with one punch. In their last fight. One punch. Okay? Simple. And pretty much they're saying that he only lost because Cherry Feet. Talk about he cheated and all this. All that. We already know that. That was embarrassing. For you to be in a fight with someone, and listen, Anthony Joshua is not concerned about what people are saying. I'm just making this video to point out the fact. See, people gave this guy, so much respect and praise because of the way he talked about Wilder in such a positive way, the way he carried himself against Wilder. People was talking about Anthony Joshua was going to get knocked out by Hellenius. Oh, look at this guy, because at the face-off, when he's telling them, like, yo, either we're going to fight now or we're going to fight tomorrow. But either way, we're going to fight. It's because, see, here's the difference. It doesn't make a difference that he's friends or whatever, supposed to have some type of relationship with Wilder and not AJ. When a person feels someone is weak, and AJ's not stupid, he know, Hellenius want to try to play the stare down with the, you're facing the camera, the crowd to take pictures or whatever it is you're doing. Okay, you do your face off, now you turn, the guy's still standing staring you down. We saw AJ do the same thing with Dominic Brazil, and this is before AJ lost. But now this when he does it now to Hellenius, he's scared, he's shook. He was scared of Brazil. This is just people running their mouth. So what I'm saying is, yes, he felt like, okay, I'm going to try to intimidate AJ. AJ knew what he was trying to do, and that's why AJ told him. But what did Hellenius say? He told him, just relax, stay cool. I am cool. Right? And he immediately stopped that shit, didn't he? That's embarrassing. Because I'd have kept staring at him. What the fuck you going to do? Well, let's fight now then. And tomorrow. You understand what I'm saying to you? That's what I'm saying. But he stopped. And, there was no malice in AJ's heart because obviously he thanked him for saving his show, gave him his props. And so now all of a sudden the excuses. So just wanted to bring this out to everyone's attention because everybody always want to try to label. People are selective for who they label a good guy or a bad guy. That's the excuses that Robert Hellenius made on Boxing Social. Talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. And I will catch y'all on the next video.